Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. Welcome to another episode of Walnut Wednesday. Today is probably one of the most special episodes ever because today is the first Wednesday of November the 3rd, 2021, and it is Walnut Wednesday's second ever birthday. What the fuck? So I'm sat here in true Laz fashion with no bra, no pants, in bed with my dog, recording this episode for you. And this episode is very special because I've been working on a little secret. And if you didn't know already, you might already know the secret, but I've been writing a book. And today is extremely special because today is the day that I am launching the pre-sales for my book. I may or may not have pressed the publish button, I don't know, but pre-sales are available from today, Walnut Wednesday's second birthday. So I'm so happy that I managed to get this all done in time for the birthday. So in celebration, happy birthday, Walnut Wednesday. Please share and tag and let me know. Wish the podcast a happy birthday. I would love to hear from you. So many milestones have happened in these 2 years that I'm not going to get into today. But today for this episode, I actually wanted to give a little bit of a reading from the prelude of my book. And the prelude is actually a scuba dive, one of the first scuba dives I ever did on Facebook, just kind of like tweaked a little bit so it's easier to read rather than nervy, afraid to post rambles. But yeah, so I just thought I'd do a little reading for you and share that with you as a special second birthday podcast episode. So without further ado, let us begin. Prelude from my book. A Facebook post from September 2019. My story. How did I get here? In September 2019, I took an online program about starting your own soul-aligned business, hosted by psychic expansion coach Viola Hug. We love Viola. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into other than the feelings of being scared and excited at the same time. I guess a good start is to begin with the statement that I have always known and felt that I am different, and that I have always felt an amicable sense of separation from people around me. For example, I grew up the only Sagittarius in a house full of Gemini, and growing up, even now actually, I never really had a group. I believe the term is social butterfly, although I don't remember high school being as free and glorious as that term sounds. I sort of floated and hopped coming into new friend groups, all of which knew each other from early ages and situations, but I never actually fell into a place that I myself was a part of from the beginning. I had a very normal upbringing and was lucky enough to have not only nurturing parents, but also grew up basically living with my grandparents. Just that little bit of extra love. There is no more special cuddle than an Oma, which means grandma in German, cuddle. I am half German and Filipino. The grandparents that were part of my upbringing were from the German side. The first language I spoke was German, so I grew up bilingual. I have a memory of bike riding with my opakal to the dairy. I would have been around 6, and a man commented on my opakal's bike. It was this ancient old thing. And little Lara stepped in explaining that he could not speak English, and she stood there translating for the two men about a bike from English to German and then back to English. It was so natural to me. However, in school I was very embarrassed that I was other to everyone else. Because my grandparents spoke very little English, when I would have to speak German in front of people, I would feel absolutely mortified. I'm ashamed and completely the opposite now. In fact, I would give anything to sit across the table from them and chit-chat in German over Kaffee und Torte, coffee and cake once more. When I was little, my interest consisted of fairies, crystals, loving animals, and playing with my Ormers necklaces, eating kartoffel und butter, potato and butter, and of course putting on theatrical shows in my back garden. To be honest, I'm pretty sure it was just me swinging around a tree like the little monkey I was, but hey, it was a show. The people who attended my shows, my sister / co-performer, grandparents, parents, and occasionally the neighbours referred to me as the show-off or the chatterbox. My dad always talks about my first overseas trip to Fiji, where I would have been about 7 years old. As you were walking through the resort with me, you'd always hear, "Hi, Lara," and my replying, "Hi, blah, blah." Even the adults, I knew everyone by name, from people that I'd met on my adventures, charismatically just being little old me, cruising around my kids' club and cruising around the resort, just doing my thing. One of my first run-ins with death was when our dog Gusti died. She got kicked over by a horse living in the horse paddock at the end of our dead-end street, and she had a heart attack. We buried Gusti in the same garden where my hit performances were born, and I remember walking back up to the house along our long, narrow footpath by the light of the moon, and I felt a compelling need to kneel, throw my crystal up in the air that I had left with her body that my dad gave back to me before we put her in the ground, put my crystal up in the air to the moon and bow my head. What the actual fuck, I hear you ask? Yeah, me too. But at the time, it just came over me and I just did it. I don't even remember what I was thinking, just that I wanted to. And I remember my mom asked me what I was doing, kind of freaked out as anyone would be, and told me to get inside. That was the first and only time that I can recall why I ever impulsively done something where I did not know what came over me or why. Deaths after that took more common grief journeys, no crystals to the moon included. The words "killed himself" came into my world around Form 2, also known as intermediate school. And then later throughout high school, the word suicide popped up indirectly with people I knew, which was a strange and hard thing for me to comprehend. How could you be laughing immaturely through drama class with someone and then discover they died and you didn't notice something was wrong? At the time, high school felt like the end of the world, but I finished it going through all the usual trials and tribulations of your typical teenager of your typical teenager. Where do I fit in? Thinking I was fat, and now it's like that mean I wish I was fat is the first time I thought I was fat. Feeling like no one understands, thinking I'm ugly, feeling alone, self-mutilating, experimenting with booze and all the things, boys, discovery, girls can be so mean. The list goes on. The fairies, love, and theatrical shows dwindled out and turned into heavy metal dragons, although I always had dragons, they just went from colourful ones to slate grey ones, and trying to hide in the background, but simultaneously wanting to be different and to be noticed. During this time, I took my first dip into personal development and made the choice to see a counsellor. At first, it was a finding myself show-off attempt to skip class with a friend and pretend we were depressed. Secretly, I think we both were in a teenage hormonal angst kind of way. But later I found it was more than that. I continued to regularly show up, and I think it was during a Mean Girl saga, discussing why people are the way they are, what's in it for them or for me, and how to deal with issues that didn't originate as mine yet directly affected me. I believe I really discovered my sense of self early through this. I remember one morning in class, in the first class of the day, rambling out some philosophical woo-woo to a friend about life, and she groaned, rolled her eyes, telling me it was too early to be so deep. I smile as I write it and actually read it to you now, but at the time I felt so segregated, like some old lady in a 13-year-old body. I'm only now just coming to accept that my sensitivity and my empathy is a strength, whereas then I felt so weak, and I took great comfort in discussing these issues with my counsellor. I would later be back in counselling, not for coping mechanisms to survive a Mean Girl saga, but again with the intention of other people's issues and develop ways in which I could help them. August 2012 was the start of a pivotal, you know the word, shift in my life, where everything I ever knew in the months to come turned upside down. I don't really know how to describe the shift in me because it was neither positive nor negative. After over a year, literally all of 2013, I do not remember, in shock, I will call this change something like waking up or coming into an awareness. I was, to be put simply, noticing what was important, noticing that it wasn't all about me, and it was me discovering a type of strength I didn't know I had. I had to learn on my own, yet in a pack, how to survive being left behind. August 2012 was the first time I was directly affected by suicide, and 4 months thereafter, in December 2012, the same yet different piece of my heart broke a second time. 2 of my very best friends were gone. The conspiracy, the why, the others affected are not part of this story, nor mine to tell, but what shaped me was how I kept on living. I didn't tell myself little affirmations about how my dead friends would want me to be living or living in the name of. For a while there, it was dark, black, and it was all about me. I didn't understand how the world kept going when all you want is for it to stop. I was living in a somber cloud of nostalgia, and I did not leave this space for a very long time. There came a point, however, where my internal differentness shone its little head inside of my bubble of sleet, where I started my philosophical internal observations, and I decided this shouldn't be how things are anymore. I had to look after myself so that I could try and look after my circle. The people in my foresight needed something, and I did not know how to help them. So I went back to counselling, discussing why people are the way they are, what's in it for them or for me, and how to deal with issues that did not originate as mine, yet directly affected me. Now, this all sounds very saintly, but it was all a bit of an internal battle where all I wanted was to feel helpful. This actually led to years of people pleasing and a very empty cup, only something I have recently got on top of. It was never for any kind of recognition or praise. I just have this innate need inside me to try and help. You'll always see me trying to give advice, sometimes when it's not asked for, or trying to support a small business. I just can't help it. Now, I know it's part of my human design. Shout out to my 5-1 profiles. We can't save everyone, okay? Don't get me wrong, though. I have had my fair share of being a fucking bitch. A bully, even. Which leads me to my most recent awakening, or rather, big stinking slap in the damn face. I woke up. I'm finding this hard to write and even read out loud now. And I know that I don't have to share this if I don't want to. I hate myself. There, I said it. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on things that I have said and done over the years, and I really don't like who I am. I feel ashamed, I feel uncomfortable, I feel mean, and I feel weak. I imagine who I used to be versus where I want to be, and I see confidence, but here in the middle, I just feel stuck and self-conscious. This is what brought me here, discovering that some things are actually my strength, like my empathy. I'm diving into why I am the way I am, what's in it for me and everyone else, and how to deal with issues that are 100% mine and have been affecting me silently for years. I am still the cheeky little monkey who performs theatrical masterpieces on a daily basis. I still love the high-pitched squeal of Danny Filth, and I most certainly still love potatoes and butter. One of my final conversations with my counsellor was where I made the statement, I'm just trying to find my place in the world. So here I am, still trying. I have a loving family, an awesome long-term relationship, a most wonderful collection of friends, and I have so much love to give, but it needs to start with me, Lara Marie Giesecke. I need to love myself first, and I am so excited. Wish me luck. Cut! End the prelude. So that's the start of my book, because it was the start of my Walnut journey, and I just wanted to share that with you on this special day where Walnut Wednesday turns 2 and where the pre-sales of my book are born and come to life. I wrote a fucking book. What the fuck? I wrote a fucking book. So celebrate with me. Grab a copy if you want to. I'll put the links in the show notes. They'll be all through the walnut tree. I've been sharing little snippets of the book writing process inside the walnut tree. So if you're not in it already, Walnut, jump in. The Walnut Tree on Facebook, which is a group where we can be little walnuts together. And I just want to celebrate some more. I think you can hear in my voice that I'm just like, I'm still kind of in shock. I'm still like, holy shit. But here I am. I did a thing that I so wanted to do ever since I was young. When me and my sister were little, we always talked about how she would be the author and I would be the artist. And while I still, even to this day, love drawing, and I loved drawing back then, I always also still wanted to be an author too. I wanted to do all the things. So this is just a testament and, you know, a little present to not only Walnut Wednesday on its 2nd birthday, but a present to past young Laz who didn't think that she could do it, didn't think that she could be the drawer and the author, didn't think that she could do all the things, and who started lots of books, little pieces of writing, and didn't really think that I would, you know, ever be able to click publish on a book and have it in my hot little hand. So past little Laz, little Lara, this is for you. And Walnut, this is for you too. Special thanks for being here for the 2 years that Walnut Wednesday has been alive. And if you purchase a copy of the book, thank you. And I'm so excited, and I would love to hear what you think about it. And I hope you enjoyed my little reading to you. So that's my picture. Happy Walnut Wednesday. I'll talk to you more about it in the walnut tree, but I am so glad you're here. I am so glad you're here to witness this, because if a little peanut like me who thought that she couldn't do the things just did a thing, it's just a testament to you, because if I can, you can, right? Anyways. I wrote a fucking book! Oh! Happy Walnut Wednesday, Walnut. You are beautiful, you are sexy, you are delicious, and you can do the things. I believe in you. You can do the things. I will talk to you next week, and thank you.